whatever happened with Kando. They came and I said, I don't know if she refused or whatever. If this was a plot for them, they could have sent the Mist to weaken the country or the kingdom to take over. Because also too, whatever Kando did or whatever relation with Kando or Prince Reuven, whatever, was probably falling out already.
We also can look at this where it could possibly be an inside job too. Because if we look at the fit, his fit is very similar to what Brooke is wearing as a knight.
Do I think King Reuven has officially passed on? I do not. I think he's still alive because every time we've seen people go into Domi Reversi and murk each other, it flips.
Right,
this would probably go back to that one panel of Brooke remembering Shuri and she was calling out to her father. The next question is, if the Covenant indeed is not a thing with King Reuven, is it possible that it could have been with his father? And is it possible they had an abyss circle already in the throne the same way Harold did? Because we never jumped into this battle and the battle just started. The battle was already happening. And we never saw a lightning strike come down to where Marcus Mars came into the room.
We finally got to see some happiness for him in his flashback. Like, he was happy as a child. He was happy knowing Prince Reuven and Kandel and Shuri and everything. And it's like, yo, he's back in this type of environment again. And I was like, geez, man, like, he's rushing to get to the castle to get to the two people he cares about most in this world because they're still alive. Kandel's gone, but they're still alive. And he's doing what he can. He's fighting tooth and nail. And then he gets there and this is what he sees. And it was another one of those where I turned the page. I knew what I was going to see this time. And I still wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Full, seemingly Domi Reversi Shuri takes out an also seemed to be Domi Reversi Prince Reuven. And like, she's smiling about it. Like in his face, like, aren't you happy? Like, I ended the war. You just killed your father. Yeah. And it's tough because obviously we have all the context and information about what this actually means, but Brooke doesn't. Brooke has no idea what just happened. He walks in, this woman just murdered her father. And there's some guy, there's a weird flame dark dragon thing looking to the left. He's in complete shock because he don't know what's going on. And Reuven having the horns on his head made me think that he was in a similar scenario that maybe, I can't say Harold because I was more Covenant, but like, did he fight back from whatever Domi Reversi he had going on? Was he fighting out of it? And if so, how? And beyond that, did this person put this on them? Like, is he granted additional powers from Imu that allows him to Domi reverse people live in a way that we haven't seen with the other Holy Knights? And I don't know, man. His face, the shock that the look on his face, it's beautifully drawn. I thought the entire paneling of this was perfect to me. Brooke basically just doesn't say anything. He's so shell-shocked he can't speak. And it all just worked for me. Even how stoic that Shuri was having taken her father out, or I guess assumed father. I feel like we should have seen it coming, that Domi Reversi would play a role in Brooke's backstory. I didn't originally. As soon as I turned the page, I was like, oh man. So it's tough. It sucks for Brooke. He's going through a lot. I'm curious as to how this kind of unfolds, but man, you gotta feel for him, man.
So my thing, I wanted to save it too, because remember we talked about like how whatever happened with Kando, they came and I said, I don't know if she refused or whatever. If this was a plot for them, they could have sent the Mist to weaken the country or the kingdom to take over. Because also too, whatever Kando did or whatever relation with Kando or Prince Reuven, whatever, was probably falling out already. Especially if she was with the Knights or she chose Reuven over them, but she was we don't know her background, we don't know exactly. She could have just been whatever. And then they said, all right, you can't pay the tribute, sending these slaves. Knowing probably Reuven's response. Like, you know, so, all right, we'll go in there. Because even though it says more came than they expected to for the world government. So that tells me the world government came to clean up house. They could have sent that Mist to weaken them. And then it's like, all right, we're going in now and we're going to send even more so to ensure our victory. And then too, I still find it so interesting here, because I can understand Gunko, Udami Reversi. Why Reuven? I'm trying to make sense of, like, was it pure entertainment? Or were you trying to choose a vessel? But I'm thinking you would, to my mind, you're going to favor Gunko. Did you want to give Reuven a fight here? Or you wanted Gunko to prove herself because she's still young? She's only 15 at this age, right? And that's also I want to bring out too. Is it Jupiter? Which one was the Phoenix one?
Marcus Mars.
Marcus Mars.
Yeah.
Marcus Mars, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know who this other person is. People say he kind of looks like Shiryu.
Shiryu, yep.
Yeah, but like I don't know if Shiryu has CD ties. But if that is Mars,
Shiryu's 44 years old.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like his parents or like ancestors. I don't know if he has that type of ties.
Law, you mentioned before that people thought this was Shiryu. And there is some of that in there too, because honestly, that was the first character I thought of. And I know that he's way too young to be in this part of the story specifically. But we do see, when we look back, like the jailers, Magellan and all of them, like they wear these wings that kind of alludes to possibly, you know, Domi Reversi or something like that. Not saying that they have it, but we see them wearing those wings in the jail. And we also can look at this where it could possibly be an inside job too. Because if we look at the fit, his fit is very similar to what Brooke is wearing as a knight. So it also could be an inside job. But the thing that makes me think that, is Shiryu involved in this is we know he's called Shiryu of the Rain, and there's rain in this chapter on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe this is Shiryu's family. Or maybe there is more to Shiryu, because we don't really know a lot about Shiryu to begin with. We don't really know too much. But we know he's called Shiryu of the Rain. We know he was, you know, killing prisoners, and that's how he got thrown into Impel Down. So there is that going for him. I definitely believe this is Mars, by the way, which I'm like, okay, can the Gorosei also do Domi Reversi? Because we didn't really see them do it on Egghead. So what stopped them from doing it there? If, you know, they're able to do it on their own, they don't need Imu. Or did Imu possess Mars and then do it and then go back? There's that possibility there too. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on in this chapter. I definitely want to see more. But those are like my immediate takeaways.
This is essentially, you know, Shuri's now 15. She's no longer 14. So the story where we're at right now is 69 years ago. If Shiryu's father is here and that's the guy, he's probably what, max, you know, older than 25. Because that's the time difference between here and when Shiryu was born. Here's just a thought. There's a large piece of this information missing. I do believe that Imu has shown up through either Marcus Mars, because he did that with Saturn on God Valley, or this individual that's sitting in the black clothing happens to be a Holy Knight. He might be the Holy Knight that essayed Candle. We don't know which celestial dragons came through. We just know that they did come through. Now, my other large brain theory is that when they did come through, they made a deal with Prince Reuven's dad. And that's when the affiliation started, or became even more of an affiliation if they were already affiliated. And that affiliation tied to somehow you're going to produce something for us, and that's just what it's going to be. And it led me, and it's so funny, Sebastian once had a theory regarding if Imu ends up taking princesses in order to become vessels. So maybe if it's tied to that vessel theory that Sebastian had, Imu wanted to create another princess through a Holy Knight and then take her as a vessel. And when she became of age, which was the age limit of 15 for him, which is crazy, I just said that out loud. This was her time to be taken. This is why all this stuff is happening right now. I don't think nobody else can do Domi Reversi except Imu. So if Imu came out and did Domi Reversi to the daughter and to King Reuven, it proves that one, King Reuven and probably the previous king don't have covenants. Granted, Domi Reversi is a covenant, but I'm talking about like the abyss covenants, the shallows, the depths covenant. The bigger question is why? Why did he do it to both of them and not just one? Was it in turn for just pure entertainment? Just to see like the disgusting parts of humanity, to prove that the way you should live your life is this way? Or he did it for another reason that we just don't know. Now, do I think King Reuven has officially passed on? I do not. I think he's still alive, because every time we've seen people go into Domi Reversi and murk each other, it flips. This would probably go back to that one panel of Brooke remembering Shuri, and she was calling out to her father, because I think her father was alive during the ending of Hesperia's kingdomship, and she was being taken away, and she was calling to her father.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning, mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright, so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light now. Give me a beat and I control it like a maestro. Ladies on a mission, they be trying to get me wiped up. Shawty, wait a minute, can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners. And you know we ballin' all winner.
Now the question was for me, do I believe this is Marcus Mars or another Gorosei member that we haven't met yet and that member ended up passing away. So
Oh.
I thought that was a possibility because we've seen it with Saturn and then Garland. So I'm like, is it possible this isn't Marcus Mars, but maybe this is a man-mayor Gorosei member? Maybe. But the earliest we know that Marcus Mars was indeed a Gorosei member and had the Itsumade power was when
they gave
King
him a
Harold
deal.
had an ultimatum to murk rocks. That was 42 years ago. So essentially that's like 37 years from now or 27 years from now. Is it possible this is another Gorosei member we haven't met yet? And this is why they're in that shadow form instead of their actual form? The next question is, if the Covenant indeed is not a thing with King Reuven, is it possible that it could have been with his father? And is it possible they had an abyss circle already in the throne the same way Harold did? Because we never jumped into this battle and the battle just started. The battle was already happening and we never saw a lightning strike come down to where Marcus Mars came into the room. All we heard is, yo, they're in the throne room. That's all we heard. So it might be possible that if this is a Holy Knight that's sitting with a cigar and Marcus Mars came with the Holy Knight, then they probably came through an abyss circle. Probably.
Now, I was just wondering, because when we see the ships pull up, we see Marine ships and world government ships.
Right.
So I'm wondering if a Gorosei is present,
Well,
would they have just been on the ship and just got in there? Like
Could
that
be.
way? Yeah.
But there's also CP agents that are here and they don't take Marine ships.
True.
They take world government ships. There's a lot going on behind the scenes for King Reuven now. Ever since that visit from the Celestial Dragons, there had to be something that really, really did happen, and he's never gotten over it. And he looks terrible. He's lost weight. Remember, he was like this big guy before when Lady Candle was alive. He's skinny as hell. You can see it in his face. He clearly hasn't eaten. There looks like something is definitely going on, and I think Brooke knows exactly what's going on throughout everything. I think he's been aware of all of the tragedies that probably happened behind the screen, and he's just singing it out because he's so unbelievably sad. And now this person filled with trauma faces the loss of the love of his life, and he doesn't even know, like Sebastian said, King Reuven is done. In his mind, he's done. So he's looking at two people he once loved and was killed by a person that's not even King Reuven's kid, most likely. So it's like, I understand his shock. And the thing that weirds me out too is that every time we've seen the Gorosei pop up, they always let out some type of like hockey. There's no hockey being let out by the Itsumade, Marcus Mars. Like we've seen it on Egghead. But I understand we've seen Saturn a couple times and his hockey wasn't like going crazy, but he wasn't also in his spider bull form. Like when we saw him on God Valley, he was kind of just chilling. When he went into his spider form, everybody was like, yo, you feel that? We don't have that same feeling here. Like Brooke walking into he doesn't feel that. So it's like, what form is this? Are we seeing another form that we haven't seen from the Gorosei and Imu? Rob mentioned the whole Sabo thing in the throne room and how we know that Imu transformed into like a human being kind of that was really large. So I assume that they also have other forms we just haven't seen, and maybe we're witnessing that right now with Marcus Mars.
Is this a Gorosei upscale?
If they could do Domi Reversi, yes. If they can't do Domi Reversi, then I would say no. Do y'all think like people can see the Domi Reversi like horns and wings?
Yeah.
So why is it always like a question? Like we had it happen on God Valley with people not noticing that Rocks definitely was bigger and he had kind of like wings too. And then we had it again during Elbaf with the Giants. Like people were like, why are they so much bigger? Meanwhile, Dory and Bragi also have horns and wings and the other guys. And it's like they had the same reaction as Brooke kind of, where Brooks mentioned that Shuri at one point murked her dad, but he didn't say anything about her having horns or wings either. So this is like different people, and it's happened multiple times, and nobody's ever mentioned like wings and horns. So is this like aesthetic? The same way like hockey is aesthetic? Like nobody sees that Luffy has black marks on him. They just see like he's just like ballooned up and he hits way harder. It's for us. I think
you can see them because didn't Rocks make a mention to his parents or his grandma and mom? What wasn't like that they look different or whatever? I don't remember. But I think they can see them. Yeah. I think it's a situation like Zoro not bringing up the white hair, flames, and wings with the Lunarians, and he's just like, yo, they got the same thing going on. Like, people in One Piece just be dumb, bro. It's plot, I guess, but yeah.
It's a crazy chapter, bro.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts. Like,
Bro.
I don't know what's happening, bro. I really don't.